Yeah, but with some things, such as a math class that's going to contain algorithms that would never change, sine,
Right.
cosine, power of, square root, that is a really good example of something. Those are pure methods.
Yep. And yeah, anything that's pure really should be static. Anything that's pure, as in it can take parameters, it can return results, but a pure method cannot in any way alter the state of the program. It can have no side effects. Unfortunately, this is close to a pure method, but it's not quite because console.write technically does alter the state. But something like cosine is pure. So static is a method like const to a variable. I mean, yeah, that's,
That's an
I
interesting way of
guess,
looking at it, but kind of.
pure returns a variable and nothing else. Essentially, yes. Think about it this way. Here's a kind of inside-out way to define a pure method or a pure function. A pure function or pure method is a block of code that, given the same input, will always return the same output. And it's to fit that criteria, it has to be mathematically provable that, given the same input to a pure function, always returns the same output. That is what a pure method or a pure function is. And that's why this isn't, because, well, it returns console input. So that can't change. Yeah, if you have a method like this, this is pure. It does not in any way rely on or mutate external state. The only variables it's allowed to use inside of execution are the parameters, and the only thing it's allowed to use to talk to the rest of the world is its return. And once we get into more like functional concepts in maybe the next or the one after the courses here, especially once we start talking about link and all that stuff, and delegates and lambdas, that's where stuff like whether or not a function is pure becomes very, very important to be able to distinguish.
Right.
Because using a non-pure method in a deferred execution environment will cause you miserable headaches.